caltrop is an area denial weapon designed to stop the enemy. The caltrop is a sturdy, simple, yet effective weapon no matter its position. Its purpose was originally designed to stop elephant and donkey attacks. It graduated to stopping tanks. And now, the caltrop is your defense against propaganda, polished lies, and manufactured outrage. It's free from counterfeit credibility and synthetic truth. However, inside the walls of the caltrop, you're going to be forced to think. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, Mike Calderese is the caltrop.
Coming down the mountain from the heaven to the hell, the Mike Calderese, the caltrop, he never stops, so ring the bell. He bring the facts, he's been up every morning till we sleep. He get it deep, Mike Calderese, in your head and in your sheets. And we don't mind and we don't care, Mike Calderese is the caltrop. And we don't mind and we don't care, Mike Calderese is the caltrop. And we don't mind and we don't care, Mike Calderese is the caltrop.
Good evening and welcome to the Caltrop. I am your host, Michael Calderese, and welcome everybody. Welcome to the Caltrop, where we are your defense mechanism from everything that's going on in your life. And the Mike's Right's going to start off with something very simple. You know, they beat us down and they beat you down, and all day long you're faced with negative. All day long you're faced with everybody saying just negative shit around you. I'm going to tell you a quick story before I get to the Mike's Right. And it's like fitting for today. You know, I was at the bar yesterday. I call it like a meeting. It was a lunch meeting. It was a random Jewish dude sends me a text message and says, listen, if you want to learn about the Jewish community, you know, come out and talk to me. You know, I had no idea who this guy was. None. He could be connected. He could be not connected, whatever. But I had this meeting, and we're going to get to that in a little bit. That's also going to be part of this show tonight. Honestly, it's not a packed show. It's going to be a conversation. I want you guys involved. And the reason behind it is I'm looking at the news, and I couldn't just do another news show where we're getting beat by the same exact shit. Like it was Groundhog's Day, like my Monday episode, like it was Groundhog's Day. So I had this meeting, and afterwards, I was at the bar, and it was funny because I got recognized, I guess, subtly. But I'm at the bar, and one of the bartenders that I've known for years and years and years says, like, "Hey, Mike, my son loves your videos. Let me get a picture with you, but I want to send it to him, whatever." So we take a picture. Then they start asking me about the town. I start talking about the town, and this guy legit looks over at me and says, "Oh, yeah, well, what are you doing about it? Why don't you get off your ass and instead of talking about it at the bar and do something?" Like this fucking guy who's talking, when I was talking about Brick and I was talking about my area, this guy says, "Oh, Bricktown's fucking over with." So I look over at him. I said, "I completely disagree with you. I think we have a shot." And that's when he said that to me. "Why don't you get off your ass? Why don't you do something?" And I said, "It's funny because I'm the only one that's fucking really even doing anything. I'm the only one that's talking about it." So the guy looks at me and he goes, "You know, it's funny because there's this one guy in Brick that's really fighting pretty strong, and you kind of look like him. I was just watching one of his videos." I said, "Oh yeah, which video is that?" He was like, "I don't know. He was in his truck. It was late at night. It was cold, and he was coughing during it." I said, "Yeah, it was really cold, and I just ripped a bowl, so I had some shit caught in my throat." The guy looks at me, and I scroll. I said, "Is this the video?" He goes, "Yeah, it's the video." I said, "Yeah, it was my video." So I said, "So you see what I'm saying? I'm the one that's really doing something about this. I'm speaking up. What are you doing besides sitting in a bar bitching and being negative and just saying the most negative shit that you could possibly imagine?" You hear this all the time, and you hear it nationwide, and I think that's by design. And that's what the Mike's Right is going to be about today. But I tell you that story as a precursor to this show because It's that type of attitude I think they want you to have. I think they want you to feel defeated. I think they want you to feel like you don't have a prayer. Like these groups are too powerful. You cannot win. I think they want you to feel that way. And the Mike's Right is going to hit on that. We have, we have a show. Hopefully we have a guest coming on. I know he's doing another podcast. He said he was going to try to make it on. It's Mr. Fit Nik. I met this guy. He's doing videos in Lakewood. I want to talk to his experience, because if you notice, Lakewood's been flooded. I've been talking about Lakewood for how long? I've been the one pushing this Lakewood shit. I've started this, and I love it. Thank you, everybody, for jumping on this bandwagon, because the God's honest truth is I don't hate them for it. I love these guys. I think it needs to be brought out to full attention. And the more eyes looking at this, and the more bold people we have asking questions and actually doing something, then we might be able to get some change. Everyone forgets something before I get to the Mike's Right. We have the fucking power, people. We have the power. We outnumber everybody, especially locally. If you really think about it, your local issues are not right and left issues. They are not. I've been saying it all the time. And if you think about just the people in Ocean County, how many people are in this town, if you get a group of 50 people that are willing to put the right, left, Republican, Democrat horseshit aside, and they're willing to say who's the best that's not bought off by the people that are screwing us. And it's interesting, this dude, Nick, we were talking, and he helped me figure things out with the judges, and it's the corruption and the scandalous horseshit goes so deep, and they make you feel like shit. They make you feel like you have no hope, like you have no power. And I'm here to say we have the power. We just have to look at what groups take the power. We have to learn from these people. We have to say, okay, what are you doing that works? Okay, you could say, I have 150,000 votes for you right here when you do what I want you to do. Why are we giving that power to the Republicans and the Democrats only when it's being used against us? Why are we doing this stupid shit to ourselves? Because we're so stupid we can't get out of our toxic tribalistic mentality? We're so stupid that we let these groups form up against us, control the two people that we think we're voting for, while we fight amongst ourselves like a bunch of fucking idiots? And the entire time, it's making you feel less hopeful of the country you love. It's making you feel less hopeful of the place where you live right now, whatever town that is, USA. And if you have things that are going on like Dearborn or Lakewood, New Jersey, Ocean County, New Jersey, but how would it? Think about what's going on in PA. You had a situation where Ohio with train derailments, and things like this are happening in every single state. But let's get the show started with the Mike's Right. Shut the fuck up and listen. Like I've been saying, guys, I want to be honest. I always try to be fucking brutally, disgustingly honest with everybody. And right out of the gate, I'm going to tell you, I really struggled today, like I've been saying, to put on the show tonight. And obviously, it's not because I don't have anything to say. I have plenty to say. And it's not because nothing happened. There's plenty that happened. But because I'm kind of tired of it. I'm tired of the horse shit. And that's honestly new for me. Because normally I'm fueled by how insane everything is. Normally, the news gives me energy. But tonight, I just stared at it like, yeah, of course this happened. Of course that happened. I'm getting tired of the news. And that's where we're at now. We're not shocked. We're not angry. We're just numb to all of it. And that should scare the hell out of you more than any headline ever should, honestly. Because this is how it works, everybody. You see it locally, you see it nationwide. They don't silence you at force anymore. They exhaust you. They drown you in so much nonsense, so much outrage, and so much fake urgency that eventually your brain just goes, whatever, man. Just let me eat fucking dinner, you fucking crooks. And that's not by accident, everybody. That's by strategy. Every day, another crisis, another scandal, another Trump is Hitler moment. And nothing ever gets fixed. It just gets replaced with new outrage. And like living in a house where there's a fire alarm going on nonstop. I just lived it with the CO2 detector. Eventually, you don't even look for the fire. You just pull the batteries out of it. And that's exactly what they want you to do. Because tired people don't push back. Tired people don't ask questions. Tired people just repeat the same dumbass talking points like the guy in the bar and go to bed. And I mean, look around. Prices are insane. Trust is gone. Institutions are a fucking joke. They're all corrupted. Nobody believes anybody anymore. And instead of addressing any of that, we're arguing about words. We're arguing about pronouns, vibes, optics, and somehow the definition of what a woman is. They're rearranging the furniture while the house is on fire and calling you dangerous for pointing out the flames. And the media doesn't even try to convince you anymore. They just tell you what you're supposed to feel. Oh, this is good, actually. This is normal. You're overreacting. Well, if I'm overreacting, why does everything cost double and feel worse? They gaslight you with straight face and then call you unhinged when you notice. And here's the wild part. They don't even need you to agree with them anymore. They just need you tired enough to stop arguing. And that's the goal. Because when you're tired, you stop caring about principles. You stop caring about the corruption. You stop caring about the hypocrisy. You just want quiet because nobody's fucking listening anyway. And the people running things know that. That's why nothing ever feels resolved. It's always just ongoing. Permanent chaos, endless hearings, endless investigations, endless emergencies. No closure, no accountability, and just noise. It's like living in a beta test that never ends. Every policy feels unfinished. Every decision feels rushed. Every mistake gets a press conference instead of a consequence. And if you point that out, they say you're negative or divisive or dangerous. No, I'm just not sedated. That's the difference. Because here's the truth they don't want said out loud. Most people aren't dumb. They're just worn down. They see the hypocrisy. They see the double standards. They see the corruption. They're just too exhausted to fight every single day. And tonight, I felt that a little bit. I felt that moment where you think, does this even matter anymore? And that's when it hit me. That feeling, that's the they win condition. They want you right there, aware, but quiet, informed, but disengaged, mad, but too tired to do anything with it. And to me, not tonight. Because if they're counting on me being silent, if they're counting on a burnout, if they're counting on people like me saying, not today, I can't do it today, then not doing the show tonight matters more than everything. Or then doing the show tonight matters more than ever. Not because I have all the answers, not because I'm fired up, not because I'm still here. And if you're watching this feeling the same way, confused, drained, wondering why everything got so fake, let me tell you something. You're not broken, you're not crazy, and you're not alone. You're really just paying attention, probably too much attention. And the fact that you'll still notice something's wrong means they haven't won yet. Because if this day feels normal, that's the day when we're really screwed. And yeah, I mean, I didn't want to do a show tonight. And that's the exact reason why I had to do it. I didn't want to beat you with the news. And I didn't want to get on here and talk about shitty current events or shitty problems. But that's where we're at. And if I didn't do it, all the people looking at me saying, Mike, how can I help? How could I get involved? If I didn't want to do that tonight, or if I don't want to go to these meetings, or if I stop doing what I'm doing, then who's going to do it? Because it seems like there's only a few of us that are willing to speak up. And us few are really looking for the rest of you that are going to say, I need to fucking do something. Enough is enough. I need to fight for what I want because other people are fighting harder and they're winning. That's the Mike's Right. Hope you listen. All right, everybody, let's get into the Rumble chat. I have nothing kind of set up. You know what's weird? I've said this to you guys before, and I'll say it again. I don't know why, but you hear me? So when I'm sitting around and we rearrange some stuff today, I changed some things around. When I'm sitting around all day, it seems like I have a harder time. It seems like I have a much harder time doing the show. But tell me what you think about that monologue in the chat. Because, guys, they are trying to keep us 100% beat down by all of this stuff. And I did feel it, man. You're looking at all this stuff, and I felt my eyes are like this, and I wanted to do this to everything, like fuck everything. And then there's the God's Not Truth. There's a meeting going on in Brick tonight. And it's, I have to ask everybody, you have to be involved in this. I can't go to every fucking meeting and talk. I can't. I am a Mason contractor. I don't do this full time. I make no money on this stuff, and I don't care. I love it. I love this. I love doing what I'm doing. And the amount of attention that it's getting right now, it's blowing up all because of you, and I thank you. But I can't go to every fucking meeting. And I can't be outraged over every meeting. It takes everybody. And the saddest part is, I say this all the time, it shouldn't take us. I thought that's what our elected officials are for. But if you're going to vote and think you've done enough in this day and age where your voting means nothing, I'm sorry to say this, it really does mean nothing. Until you start putting people up that mean something, that aren't bought off by the politicians, or by the powerful people. We're going to talk about one of them in a little bit. This guy Richie Roberts in Lakewood, but he's a billionaire that's controlling everything. You don't realize how even in your area there's billionaires that are buying influence, that are paying for both of the political campaigns, and you don't really have a choice. So sadly, you have to go to all this stuff, and there is a big hearing in Brick, and I'm kind of in the middle of it, and everyone's asking me, well, are you going to that meeting? Are you going to the hearing? Are you going to that hearing? So it's like, how about you go and report back to me what happened? Because I shouldn't have to be there every day. And everybody shouldn't just be looking at me saying, Mike, you got to do something. Mike, you got to do something. Mike, you got to do something, because I've been effective. I'm only going to be so effective by myself. Right? What we need people engaged. And it's sad because they do want you beat up. It's sad because they want you fucking tired. It's sad because it's set up to have Hannity up your ass. If you're on the right, you hear Hannity nonstop. Hillary Clinton, she's getting arrested. I swear to God, she beat her. Can you believe it? She beat her hard drives with a hammer and bleed bit. And it's this fucking nonstop charade. And no one ever gets arrested, and they want you doing that shit. And on the other side, you have Rachel Maddow. Wear a mask, you're going to kill everybody. I love homos. It's like, this is what you're dealing with. They want you exhausted. They want you thinking there is absolutely no hope. And I'm here to tell you, I think there's fucking hope. I think there's a lot of hope. I think there's so much hope if we got our heads out of our asses and realized what our potential is to govern ourselves the way we really want to be governed, the way this foundation of our country was formed. It was us taking what we wanted in our own hands and not being pushed on. Because the truth of the matter is, in America, this is free. If you allow yourself to be steamrolled, you deserve to be steamrolled. Well, I want to be doing some fucking steamrolling on my own. I'm sick and tired of being steamrolled. And everyone wants to sit back and wonder why the fuck it happened, how it happened, what happened. Why am I doing all of this? Well, you've been steamrolled by people who know how to abuse this system. And hopefully Nick's going to come on afterwards. He said about 8:30. We'll see if he comes on. But that's the theme. I told everybody I did a number of different videos. I got a message. And I don't have a lot of fluff. I don't have a lot of bullshit. There's not a lot of videos. It's going to be me talking today. And I have an interesting one on does ice melt. Fucking stay tuned for that one, because this one really blew my mind, that I need an explanation. I really need an explanation, but we're going to get to that. So I get a message from a Jewish guy. And you know they're Jewish right off the bat because it's usually like a Y and then a name you can't pronounce followed up by another name you can't pronounce. So I know right off the bat, okay, Jew. And it wasn't, you know, that's when they're like, I thought it was a harder core Jew. So, but I will meet anybody in the course of trying to understand what I'm dealing with. I think we have to have some type of understanding. So I met with this guy. He really didn't want to be like singled out or anything. He doesn't want me to mention his name, which I fully agree. I understand, and it's not about that. And it turned out where I don't know who this guy was. He said he was an IDF soldier at one point, and he has a amazing. He was a cool, very very cool background story. If it was all true, seemed like he was very nice. And it was a very good conversation with a lot of people. I'll tell you right off the bat, where we went was called the cafeteria. 100% Jewish in there, 100% Mexican waiters, 100% Mexican cooks. So I made a joke on one of my videos. No matter if it's kosher food or non-kosher food, it's still Mexicans making it. So we got that going for us. It was really nice, but it was funny watching it. But I did walk in, and there was some people looking over at me like, "What the fuck's going on?" That wasn't because they recognized me raising hell the other day, whatever. I don't know. But it was going on. So we got to a conversation, and then, you know, it was really like a 2.5 hour conversation on a lot of different things. And I got to tell you something. One of the main takeaways that I have from both Tyler, when we had Tyler on the show, or when I was my days with Tyler Oliveira, talking to everybody there, the theme is free money. It's free money. It's free money. It's free money. If the government's going to give it to you, why don't you take it? Free money, free money. You'd be stupid. The program's there. Use it. Free money, free money, free money. The program's there. Use it. And when you talk to people all the time, everybody that's coming, all these YouTubers that are flying into, you know, Lakewood, we know the fraud exists, and there is plenty of it. There's plenty of it. But that's not the big issue. I'm starting to realize that's not the issue. And the issue really is the government allows this shit. The people we have voted for have created a situation where these programs get drained and they have to tax you more and more and more and more to keep you down, to keep you feeling horrible, to keep you to where you have no hope in sight. They need that. And the common theme with every one of the Jewish people that I spoke to was you would be dumb if you didn't take advantage of any money the government's handing out to you. Now, call me crazy. When I grew up, we weren't taught that. When I grew up, it was, you better be able to stand on your own 2 feet. You don't want to take charity from anybody. You want to be a man. You want to be able to afford for your family. If you need 2 jobs, you go work those 2 damn jobs. You don't sit in a welfare line. I watched Cinderella Man. I fucking love that movie. You know what movie I'm talking about? Who was it? It was a real story about Bradford. Can't remember his name. Put it in the chat. If you know it, put it in the chat. But it was a great movie, Cinderella Man. Played by the Gladiator, Maximus Decimus Meridius. That's funny. I remember his name, but not Russell Crowe. Just kind of popped into my... Is it Russell Crowe? Yeah, I think so. But that movie is great. This guy's down on his luck. He had no money. He was putting together change. Their lights got cut off. And he went there humiliated to get like $57 and then paid it back. It wasn't where it's like, hey, you have to use these. There's government programs. They were only programs designed to give you temporary help. And what you see in these communities is not temporary help. It is culture. It is culture of abuse. And it's a culture where you say every single person, even the young ones, were defending, I should be able to have 6, 7, 8 kids and be on welfare. So when you start seeing all this stuff, you start going, what are the solutions here? How can we, because all this is designed to make people like me and you who are not abused in the system lose faith in the system. So how do we actually get some real change? I think a legit, honest, non-crazy change is, why is welfare paying for 8 kids? Why does it cut off after 3? You will get 3 kids worth of welfare or 3 kids worth of whatever it is, and then we don't pay for it anymore. Okay, you have provisions where you have to pay for the birth. Okay, great. Now you have to provide for every kid that you have after that. Why do we incentivize? Why do we provide a method to where people could have more kids and get away with it? And in this situation, every kid you have, you could then make more money and collect more benefits. This is the warped shit that makes you lose faith in the system. And you go, how did it get this fucked? Well, liberals, you own it. You own a lot of this stuff. Because every single one of your feel-good legislation policies, they end up being completely corrupted. Legally. People figure out how to legally game the system. And then, yes, there's plenty of people illegally doing it. But the amount of people that are legally gaming the system and staying on it nonstop because it's just a method to destroy it, this is the problem. So every YouTuber that comes running into Lakewood saying, I'm exposing fraud. Are you really exposing fraud? Because it seems like all you're doing is going in there, you're making a whole bunch of fucking stupid noise. Yes, they're getting a lot of clicks. Yes, they're getting a lot of views. A lot of them have no substance behind them. And what happens? Afterwards, it comes out, well, you don't have any evidence. All you did was throw a lot of accusations. Anti-Semitism! When the real problem is the actual numbers. The real problem are the people that are legally destroying the system. Legally! That's the fucking problem. A lot of this is by law, by design. How? Because they bought the politicians. How do we take it back? We got to get our own politicians, clearly. We need our own groups. We need our own some type of charity system. We need our own 501c3s where we're money laundering and bringing all of this money in. But I had this conversation with this guy. And, you know, I think it was a lot of understanding. I think it was a lot of defense. I think they tried. What they're trying to do to me right now is give me convincing arguments on what I'm seeing isn't real. Oh, well, you don't understand this, you don't understand this, and it's this, and it's this, and this. But as they're talking, all I'm hearing is this is how we abuse the system. This is how we abuse the system. Legally. Everyone's missing that. Right? There's illegal fraud and there's legal fraud. And I personally am way more concerned about the legal fraud that's going on. Because that's the shit that we were supposed to put our politicians in place for to stop. Those are the people we voted for. Every time you were excited in a voting booth, you voted for one of these jerk-offs. And what did they do? That made legal ways to completely drain and completely fucking take your tax dollars. And Lord knows what goes on. Lord knows where your tax money's going. No accountability ever is taken with it. So every single one of these fad chasers and everybody on Fox News and all these talking heads that want to give you the pundit point of view, while they all keep talking fraud, I'm going to call it organized crime. Because it's organized both in defrauding you illegally and defrauding you legally. Political organized crime. And that is exactly what the fuck we are dealing with. Let's get to some chats here. We have some chats. We have one YouTube chat. Dude, every time, listen, guys, hit us up on YouTube. YouTube, I can see right on the screen. It's the only one that comes up on my screen. I didn't put it there. It's the one that came up automatically. I am not a tech person. So if you do know StreamYard, go ahead and reach out to me because I am definitely not a person. Amen Disker 240. I think I fucked that up horrifically. Wait, hold on. Amanda Kaiser. Amen. I like Amen Disker. I like Amen Disker way better. Amen Disker. I think that's the point, Mike. We can't go to every meeting. The system is meant to fail. Amen Disker's laughing at me. Amen Disker. I love it. We can't, right? Well, put it this way. I can't, but we can. If we broke it up and it's like you go to the meeting, you go to the meeting, you go to the meeting, and then we all show up to certain select meetings. That way we're not in a constant state of outrage over this shit. I think that's what has to happen. But honestly, I think what really needs to happen is we need to be able to hire a lawyer to defend us. We don't have that. We don't have that group that's all putting $3 a month or whatever the fuck it is into a lawyer defense fund. That type of stuff will go a really long way in Ocean County. If you think about it, we could have hired our own lawyer to show up tonight for $5,000 or whatever the fuck it would have been. 2 hours at $500 an hour. 3 hours. What's that? $1,500 to represent us on this. I don't know. What do you want to say? Well, you can't get a lawyer out of bed for $3,000. Hey, can you go represent us? At least it looks like we have representation. Maybe we don't have to show up to fucking everything. You would think we have town attorneys to do that, but apparently we don't either because they suck. And Lord knows there's always a conflict. There's a conflict of interest. Well, I forgot how I said it. Amanda says, what the fuck, laughing. Lynn Cat Lady, I love it. I just started getting involved in Jackson. Let's fucking go. Listen, wherever you live, this is a nationwide show. Jackson, New Jersey, we obviously talk about local issues. You have to be involved. One of the things when you get involved, you realize how ridiculous it is. You realize how, honestly, I hate to say this, but you kind of realize how non-intelligent and how non-engaged everybody is. Typically, the council's just there. I love Jackson now because Chris Pollock started to stir shit up, voting no, actually getting people talking. That part, I love it. Jackson attorney has 14 jobs. Yeah, it's absolutely insane. Let's get to the Rumble chat. Jay Calda, Mama Duke's the boat. Let's fucking go. If you notice, boat, I am wearing the Bearded Viking Mead shirt. Still love the mead. I know they're still part of Bearded Viking Meads, but they start off Wolves and Wivesmen. Check them out, guys. Check them out. Every Tuesday at 10 o'clock. They do such a good show. It's late as fuck for me. I'm trying to stay awake every night. I usually watch them today when I'm working. And they do such a fucking good job. It's Johnny 69, but the boat says, let's fucking go. Damn, you're looking sexy tonight, Callie. I know. It's a tight shirt. I got I think I figured out some of the color on my camera, so I actually have some, something in my face. I'm not completely washed out. It's Johnny says, those people are never quiet because they are all screaming and blowing there and calling people fascists. 100%. The boat, I think Mike's right. Spot on, bro. We can only take so much. We can't be the only one standing up to bullshit consistently. I feel you, bro. The problem is, bro, there's bullshit nonstop. It's 100% bullshit. So we have to start enjoying the bullshit. That's why I try to do this show the way I do it. I'm trying to have fun with it. Because if you're gonna beat yourself over, fuck these people all the time, and you can't smile, you can't laugh, you can't enjoy what's going on, you can't make fun of it, you're gonna fucking lose your mind. You're just gonna lose your minds. And I'm cursing a lot, aren't I? I will try to hold up on the F-bombs. Jay Callis is 100% correct. It's a crisis after crisis. They create the crisis, bombard us with the so-called dangers, and then move on to another crisis they create. Definitely. Thing is, though, Cal, you're the third base coach, bro. Natural born leader. Got to show up to the game, brother. I love that. So, yeah, man. You know what, dude? Not to beat my own horn, but I think I have a talent for certain things. I have a talent to regurgitate erroneous political information. I don't know how it happened. It just pops into my head. If I had to take a Spanish test at school, I couldn't do it. But for some reason, I remember political facts I don't know how it happens, but I think I'm able to articulate it clearly. And listen, man, you know, I love doing it. I do. But it's, there's no but. I shouldn't have said that. I love doing it. And I think if we got everybody involved, and I think if we had people with us by our side, and like I said, we have to join one group of people. And I mean that from the liberals to the staunch conservatives, to the people that hate Trump, to the people that don't hate Trump. Let me put this message out to all of you guys really quick. If you hate Trump's guts and you love Trump, Jackson, for example, let's speak directly to Jackson, New Jersey. You have people that hate Trump. You have people that love Trump. Does Trump mean shit when it comes to the Pinelands? Does it mean shit for your water runoff? Does it mean shit for the overdevelopment, the traffic? Does Trump or your hate or love of him mean a fucking thing for the local politics? No, it doesn't. Doesn't mean a damn thing. So why are you loyal to Trump when some of his people are fucking you locally? Nationwide, I love him. Locally, some of his people, everyone in Lakewood voted for him. Some of his policies do not work well with me in Ocean County, New Jersey, but they work overall. So there's a conflict. But I know I could vote a certain way locally for the best person. And we have to start finding the best people. But let's get to something really quick, because this was fucking crazy. Let me show you this. And I don't know. I know he was on another podcast. So if he doesn't come, he doesn't come. But let's check this out. Let's put this on here. How do I do it? I think let's go this way, right? Yeah. Let's play me. This is me. Yeah, you see me with the hair and everything? Don't make fun of my hair. I saw a TikTok where a woman went outside, picked up a piece of ice from the ground, and put a torch to it. And the torch wasn't melting it. She said, look, this isn't melting. And what she was doing was she was kind of taking the torch and it was running it all over this piece of ice. And it's been 12 degrees outside. So it's a frozen, brick of ice. And they were trying to make a point, and I've seen this same thing done over and over and over. So I decided to do it. And what I found was fucking weird. Check this out.
What's up, everybody? Have you seen this where people try to burn this piece of ice? I just tried to debunk it. And
Watch this.
I want to show you what is actually happening here. Right? It's fucking weird. Now watch this.
I need an explanation
here. It
here.
Doesn't melt. But it starts turning black and it smells like fucking plastic. Look. Look, ready? It's weird. I've never seen anything like this. I'm going to let this just stay in the same exact spot. One after the other, after the other, after the other, after the other, right?
Watch this.
If you could smell that, it smells like plastic. But look, it turned black. Here's another piece of ice.
Okay, so it turned black. Do me a favor. Tell me in the chat right off the bat why you think it's turning black. Why you think this is happening. Now, watch this next piece of ice, because this is the one that blew my mind.
Let's see what this one does. This is just random ice from my
yard.
You
actually see black smoke. Watch this. Watch this.
All right, now watch this. You can see it turning black.
See it turning black? You see it?
Watch it. You see it smoking? Do you see this smoking?
Now I have the lighter right underneath the fucking thing.
Do you see this? It's definitely not melting on the flame. It's holding right underneath it. And it's turning black. And this fucking smells. Look at this. This is weird. Not melting. Turning black. This is straight from my front yard. This is fucking weird. Let's try another spot. Try another spot. Try another spot. Ready? Let's see. See if it happens again.
Immediately black.
It is. Look at this. This does not smell like snow. I don't know what the fuck this is. But this has turned black in multiple different spots. Black.
Okay, so now I get it, right? There's carcinogens coming off the lighter. The first piece of ice didn't turn as black as the second piece of ice. So you had two different pieces of ice, and two different results, kind of. So if it was just the lighter, in my mind, I would say I would probably get the same black soot on the lighter. I mean, the same black soot the same way. The one didn't smoke black. The other one did smoke black. Different parts of it didn't. Some parts of it, when I really started fucking around, were melting. I will tell you that it took forever for it to melt in my sink, but I'm not trying to say anything like that. All I know is, tell me what you think. Because I didn't even know what to do with myself when I saw that. I got a propane one out. It's the same concept. When I put the lighter on it, that one didn't upload. When I put the lighter on it, that melted faster, but it definitely turned black and it definitely smoked. And the thing that was very alarming to me was the smell. So my wife, when I was doing it, I before I even went and recorded, I was testing it in my kitchen. And when I started lighting it, I didn't tell her really what I was doing. And she's like, "Why do I smell plastic burning?" She goes, "That fucking stinks." So I said, "You're right, it does stink." And I went in the bathroom and you could smell it. It smelled like burnt plastic. Now, we have spoken before about cloud seeding. We have. And a lot of people said this past Jersey storm was cloud seeded the way it was operating. We know for a fact they could cloud seed. We know this for an absolute fact. There's a company that brags about it. We know that there were cloud seeding over Texas when Texas had those floods. We know these things were taking place. So we know they could actually do it. Dubai, they say they cloud seed actively. They had floods one year because they cloud seeded too much. China, the same exact story. They're actively trying to screw with the environment. But what are they putting in the air that made that ice do that? Now, when I get out of this show, I'm going to take an ice cube. I just thought about this. Maybe if I take an ice cube and take that lighter to it and see what happens, does it melt out of the tap water or does it turn brown and start smoking? I don't know. I'm going to do that. But I got to tell you, that was fucking weird. If you know what's going on with it, I honestly have no idea what's going on. Let's see. I am behind on this live. Jose Roche. What's up, Jose? How you doing, bro? Jake Calder, 100% correct. Okay, it's the chemicals in the lighter. Right? Amen, Ditzker? Amen, Ditzker. I think it has to be the chemical. I'm hoping it's the chemicals in the lighter. But here's the problem with this. When you light, I'm just going to be honest, when you light weed with that same exact lighter, you don't smell plastic. So why afterwards do I smell a plasticky smell? Because you're not smelling that. When you light a candle with it, you don't get a plastic one. If you just held the lighter underneath your nose and breathe, you're not going to get a lighter smell. So yeah, I think it's the chemicals, but I don't fucking know, Amen Disker. I do not know. It's the same reason why we subsidize marriage and tax credits. Oh, Jose, you're way behind. I love it. I'll just add the reason why the government wants to incentivize more kids is because more people equals more tax revenue equals richer country. I'm not sure if I agree with that, but I like where you're at, where your head's at, Jose Roach. Is it Jose Roach? Did I say that right? Okay, because the cold ice holds the chemical. I really like what you're saying about legal fraud. Awesome. He's way behind. Is that what it is? Amen, Ditzker? Because the cold ice holds the chemical. We'll put it this way. Before I will report back to you on that. I am going to get an ice cube. I should go run and get an ice cube right now. You want to do this live on the show? You want to run and grab ice cube and do this live on the show? Let's see. Hey, stay right there. Don't move. All right, I'm coming. All right, thank you. Hey, welcome back. Sorry, guys, but I have to do this now. I have to do this. Let's see. Let's see what happens. Is it going to turn black? Put it in the chat. It's immediately dripping. So now it's running down my finger. See it dripping? Okay, so that definitely has a little bit of a plasticky smell, but I don't see any black on this. And it's melting. If you could see it, everybody, that 100% did not turn black. It didn't turn black. Didn't turn black immediately or at any point. And if you notice, let's see, it's dripping and it put the lighter out. The other stuff did not drip and it did not melt. And this ice did not turn black. There's something in our fucking skies. My lighter won't even light right now. This was sitting here for 3 minutes underneath that. I don't know, man. I don't know. Oh dear, we're in trouble. Amen, Ditzker. Amen, Ditzker. Listen, I love it. That's thank you very much, by the way. Every single one of you guys that are out there, figure the hell out of my like button. I'd really appreciate it. Oh dear, we're in trouble. Kids, do not try this at home. So it smelled still. You could still. I get what you're saying. You could smell it a little bit in the ice, but dude, that was. I got to tell you, that was fucking crazy. That was really, really crazy. So what do we want to talk about? What do we have? We have about 12 minutes left. Let's do this. Let's switch gears a little bit, and let's get into Elon, because. We have a future coming. I don't know if you guys know this, but there's a robot future coming. This is going to be 2 minutes of Elon. Listen to what he says about the future and I got to tell you something. When you have AI mixed with robots, I need everybody's expertise on there. I'm just going to warn everybody right now. We need handheld electromagnetic pulse weapons. We need robot zappers. We have to figure out a way to make robot tasers, because I've seen too many damn movies for this, but this is what he's envisioning.
And actually my prediction is in the benign scenario of the future that the robots will actually make so many robots and AI that they will actually saturate all human needs, meaning you won't be able to even think of something to ask the robot for at a certain point. There will be such an abundance of goods and services, because my prediction is that there'll be more robots than people. So,
but how do you then have human purpose in that scenario?
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing's perfect, but it is a necessary. You can't have both. You can't have work that has to be done and amazing abundance for all. Because if it's work that has to be done, then you and only some people can do it, then you can't have abundance.
Then
for
it's
all.
narrow.
It's narrow, yeah. Exactly. So, but if you have billions of humanoid robots, and I think there will be, I think everyone on Earth is going to have one and going to want one. Because who wouldn't want a robot to, assuming it's very safe, watch over your kids, take care of your pet.
Me.
If you have elderly parents, a lot of friends of mine said they have elderly parents. It's very difficult to take care of them.
Expensive.
Yeah, it's expensive, and there just aren't enough people to take care of there aren't enough young people to take care of the old people.
Right.
So if you had a robot that could take care of and protect an elderly parents, I think that would be great. That would be an amazing thing to have.
Who wouldn't want a robot raising your kid? Who wouldn't want a robot screwing your girlfriend, as It's Johnny 69 says. I can't wait to get a robot and come home and watch it banging my wife. Hey, we got a pleasure robot. It was the fucking It's Black 6000. You know what I'm right? Who wouldn't want a robot like this? Aren't you pining at home for a robot in your house? Every time I see it, I just think about the Rocky movie. Big ass fucking robot. You hurt my feelings. Get away from me. Hey, she loves me. She fucking loves me. Do you see this robot future for yourself? Can you imagine this robot future? You know, would I want a robot walking around? And then what's going to happen to these robots? You already see, you know, Boondock Guy, who's in the chat every once in a while. Boondock Guy, he's going to have like 75 sex robots. I feel concerned for him because the sex robots are actually looking hot. They have like skin looking features with lips and suction and lubrication. I mean, it's like fucking 10W40. It's amazing. Apparently, allegedly, I never tried one. I swear to God, never tried one. Just a blow up doll. Just the blow up doll. Jumper cables, I have those. Amanda, so the ice and snow isn't as compact as an ice cube from home, so the chemical has more of a place to go. If that makes sense, it's all science. Okay. I don't know. I don't know if it's. I get I don't know. I think it was pretty packed. I think that ice was pretty packed. But I guess the density. I guess you're right. I guess as an ice cube. I still think it would have turned black, though. I think there would have been some blackness. And once you go black, you never go back with ice. You obviously know that. Someone call Spooner. It's the goddamn robots. Mama Duke says, I can't stand the shop and stop robot. That thing's creepy, right? It kind of follows you. I definitely don't like it. They had a robot in the cafeteria in Lakewood. They had one that was just going by. It was like kind of fishtailing its way through the aisles and giving people napkins and shit. It was very interesting. The boat says they'll be collecting data on us worse than Alexa, bro. Well, listen, dude, if you notice what your government's doing, they are passing, Republicans are passing all types of Big Brother type shit. They passed the kill switch in your cars, if you didn't realize that, where the newer cars, they're going to be able to shut down. During COVID, how many times did I say to everybody out there, if Murphy had the ability to shut your car off and keep you at home and keep you locked down, you know he would have done it. And our government just did it. It's absolutely ridiculous. It's Johnny69 says, oh, the BJ's bot to Mama Dukes. Oh, sorry. I read that. Johnny, listen, dude, you can't say BJ's without saying the store BJ's, because BJ's bot is the bot that I was just talking about with Boondock Guy. Yep, 100%. I fucking love it. But hey, man, you know, I get to the point, guys, where, you know, when you take the beginning of the show, take the end of the show. The beginning of the show was they want you miserable. They want you sad. They want you pissed off. They want you stressed. They want you overwhelmed. They want you tired. And they want you tired to the point where you give up. And then couple it with this type of shit that Elon says. They want you tired to the point you give up, and they want to replace you with a robot. And when he says some things like, how do you have abundance for all? The only way to do that is with robots. I don't know if I buy that, because if you don't have productivity, what is everybody living off of? Or are you just living off of the credits that the government gives you at that point? Is this where all the digital currency comes in? I think so. I've been saying, hey, we can't get rid of the penny, because when you get rid of the penny, the rest of the currency is gone. But it starts there. But what happens? Are you now living on a universal basic income provided for you by the robots, giving you all the cheapest product that you could possibly have? And now humans have nothing? We have no ambition. We have no goals. We have no place. We have no purpose. Is that going to wind up good for humanity? A whole hell of a lot of people with no sense of value or self-worth? I think that's really what humans are. I think that's what we live on, is our own self-worth. And if in our own self-identity, what are you if you live under AI? What are you if AI does everything for you? What are you if you have a robot doing everything for you? I don't know. It kind of seems like that one movie where everyone wore Crocs, and the smartest man in the world was some random idiot from the 20th century. You know, you could put the name of that movie in the chat if you know what movie I'm referencing. But Hey, that's what we're doing. Last couple of comments in the chat. Let's get to it. Yes, the store. What is that? Oh, yes, the store. BJ's. Mama Duke says South Carolina BJ's don't have robots. I thought she was going to say South Carolina BJ's are better than everywhere else. Mama Duke says I will fight a robot. What do we have in the comments on YouTube? A lot of new people in the YouTube chat. I really appreciate you guys. Lynn Cat Lady, really appreciate you joining us. Amen Ditzker, really appreciate you joining me, man. And I know I butchered the hell out of your name, but it's way more fun saying it like that. Really appreciate you being here and all the work you guys are doing, getting involved in your local communities and sharing my stuff. I can't tell you how much I appreciate every single one of you guys. You have really helped me get my name out and get me noticed and get me recognized. And really, it's a team that we don't realize is a team yet, and it's something that's awesome. Jose Roche, really appreciate it. I know you're late, really late. You're going to hear my name soon, but she says, amen. This is totally unrelated, but this is why I fell in love with crochet. They cannot get a robot or a machine to learn the movements and recreate it. All a human can do it. Yes. You know what? And that's awesome. And that's the type of stuff that we have to do because we have to maintain our credibility, or our creativity. We need self-worth. We need a place, and we need hope, man. One of the things that humanity really does need is hope for better. And one of the things that I see that's really bad, that's taking up our area, and everyone, amen, Ditzker and Cat Lady and you guys and everybody in the chat here, Mama Dukes, and it's Johnny, and the boat's dealing with his own issues out in Utah. It's our area. What you hear is it is over. What you hear out of the young people a lot of the time is the American dream is done. We have to fight that. That is the thing that if there's one fight to be had, it's that negative ass image and that negative ass mindset. Because I'm going to remind everybody again, we are living, every single one of us, even the poorest Americans today, are living better than 99% of almost all humanity that has come before them. We are living better. If you have air conditioning in your house, you are living better than almost every human that has walked before you. That's assuming that the humans way back in the day that built the pyramids didn't have all the best technology. If they did, they may be living a little bit better. But there was a long time of nothing. Just 150, 200 years ago, they were living with Siberian shit houses in their backyard where you had a hole in the ground and that's where you shit. And there's still people living like that in America today. But hey, that's all I have to say about that, man. Listen, guys, thank you very much. I really appreciate you being with me today. I hope you enjoyed the show where it was a lot of talk, not a lot of fluff. Sometimes, you know what, man, we just have to have a conversation, and we can't go to the news nonstop all day, every day. And it kind of bothers the hell out of me. So I really appreciate you being with me. The Facebook chat, really big Facebook chat today. Really appreciate you guys. We're growing Facebook. You know what? It's funny. It's funny is ever since Trump, the God's honest truth is my Facebook has been completely unshadow banned. I used to put out a video. It would get 47 views and 7 likes. And it was the same 7 people and the same 47 people watching. And now, all of a sudden, I put something out. They get shared. It gets out. We hit the algorithms. We're at 10, 15, 20, 100,000 views. The show's doing better. Everything about it, it's just very interesting. When you unlock free speech, when you really unlock free speech with people that are willing to say it, what needs to be said, it's amazing how fast it catches on, man. And I got to tell you something. It's catching on because we think the same way. And I love that. And I love seeing it. And I'm glad that it's coming this way. And if you want me to be your voice, I 100% will. I fucking love it. I'm not going to shut up. You're not going to get me to be able to shut up. And that's just the fucking bottom line. Everybody new that's in the chat, thank you very much. Everybody that's old that's in the chat, you guys, I love you. Love you to death. You've been with me for years. Really appreciate you. Again, follow all of our shows. Follow all of our channels. Center Cut Media on YouTube and Rumble. Mike Calderese on Facebook. And always follow our friends. Viking, or the Wolves and Wise Men. Check them out. 10 o'clock Tuesday nights, Eastern Standard Time. If you're out in a different time, I'm not gonna translate it for you. But check out all of our friends. Nick, we had the it's Fit Nick, Nik Salanitro. I can't say his fucking name. How do I say his name? Nik Sal. I'm gonna look this up so I don't butcher it. Right? Salanitro, Nik Salanitro. Check him out. He was supposed to come on today. He probably got held up with that podcast. He's been doing a lot of videos in Lakewood. I think he gets it. He's from my area, so a lot of respect goes out to him. But check out his channels. They do a really good job for you as well. So thank you guys very much. Really appreciate you. Have a great rest of your night. Have a great Thursday. I will see you Friday night. Me and we're gonna invite back again Wikipedia. I really like Wikipedia. Wikipedia. His name was actually brought up in the Jewish meeting. They were mad I didn't call him out on something that he said, but I don't care. I loved what he had to say. But thank you guys very much. Really appreciate you. Remember, be a caltrop in your own mind. Don't fall for the bullshit. Fight. Don't get tired. Don't get worn down by the garbage. Let it fuel you. Let it fucking grow in your system. And that way we can have more and more energy. Learn how to feed off of this stuff. Because that's the only way we're going to beat these guys. Be a caltrop in your own mind. I'm going to be a caltrop for you. And this caltrop is out.